practically always have a plan no matter what you do. So when I was in Afghanistan, even if we just roll out of our little forward operating base, we would have a plan in case this happens, that happens. In the case of going out to eat in, say, Belize, you want to know where you're going, what you're going to get. You don't want to just show up hungry. So you're going to always have food with you, whether it's snacks or something easy. You're going to know, okay, here's the supermarket. Well, hey, let's grab some bananas. Let's grab some nuts. Let's grab some, oh, hey, that's vegan. Let's grab that too. So you always have food with you. And then you're not really always, and then you're not at the point where you're starving. And I think that's where people get out of control. They're starving, then they either binge or then they start to think, oh, well, this is too hard, being vegan.
So planning and bringing snacks with you.
And they're not starving because they're vegan. Let's just be clear about that. They're starving because they haven't found something for the last 10 hours or something.
And it might be a little tough if you don't know your way around, say, Japan. And you're like, what do I do? What do I do? A lot of these places like Japan, I used to live in Japan, so I know my way around most places in Japan, and it's not a problem. And I read Japanese. But for someone that doesn't, then in the case of having a plan, it would be about having Happy Cow app on your phone and then knowing where you can get the internet so you can use said Happy Cow app and things like that. And knowing what the easy snack food there is to get in almost any convenience store and things like that.
So what was the hardest country for you to find to eat vegan? Or I mean, most food, we need to really be clear that most food is vegan, that people eat vegan throughout the day. And they just add meat and dairy into it, right?
Pretty much.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, but tell us, were there any countries where you felt really socially ostracized because, and it was difficult for you to say no?
I really would only say Afghanistan, because anywhere else, I was stationed in Italy with the 173rd. I could just go off and go to vegan restaurants. There's lots of vegan restaurants, lots of vegan options there. Mm-hmm. Totally easy to be vegan in Italy. Most other places in Europe, most other places in Asia. But deployed, it's not like I could say like, hey, I'm going to the supermarket now. There was just none of that. Yeah. So you pretty much, you had what you had. And then if you didn't have it, try not to think about it.
Well, you ended up actually doing something very unique to solve this problem, that you were based in Afghanistan and that you needed more vegan sustenance because the food, I'm assuming, just was they were
lacking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just to say it nicely.
For everybody,
lacking.
Probably.
Oh, nobody was enjoying the food. It basically you had a big plywood shack that was the chow hall, and people were I think we had 2 lower enlisted Marines who were the cooks. They were probably infantry guys that they said, "Hey, now you're a cook."
Oh wow.
Like, so they have. They're opening big cans of stuff and dumping it in a pot, and that's the cooking.
Right. So you probably ate better than most people because you went to a website. Tell us that story of how you actually were able to feed yourself.
I lucked into a website called anysoldier.com, and I put on it just simply, I'm a platoon medic, and my guys need the following things, and there's also a vegan in the group. And then in quotes, me. And I could use some food if anyone wants to send it. And it just blew people's minds that someone would be deployed, go to war, and they would still be worrying about the food that they were going to eat. And they would still be worrying about their commitment to animals under such crazy circumstances.
So what happened?
So the response was nuts. Boxes upon boxes of just random food.
If I'd known about it, I also would have given to you too. I'm sorry.
No.
And then a friend of mine then wrote to Tofurky, and Tofurky started sending me stuff. So I have pictures of me holding the shelf-stable Tofurky in front of a howitzer in the mountains of Afghanistan. It's pretty epic.
Did you share your food?
I did. Most of the stuff I didn't want, but
oh really?
But for example, now I
did they send you Oreos or something, or
no?
Just not health food.
They would. I ended up getting a lot of cans of chili, and toward the end, I actually had to tell people, please don't send me any more food because I just had too much, and I whittled it all down pretty much to chili, and even now when I think about chili, I just get like and my parents just don't get it because my parents love to cook, and they'll cook vegan chili, but I'll say like, no matter what you do, I'm still not going to want it. I mean, I can eat it, you know.
But it's just not. That's not something
people probably sent that to you because they were so worried about your protein. that they felt like
it
they
might have
needed
just
to
been
send,
like
or it was
one
hearty?
random can in each thing. Like I don't
yeah.
think anyone was like, let's just send this dude like 50 cans of chili.
Oh.
It was like one here, one there. But after a whole year, and I'm getting boxes upon boxes, I had from the bottom of from the floor to the top of the hooch, I had just stacks of chili.
That is just.
And I would take a can
so
down, I would
kind.
open it up, I would
I
start
know.
eating, and I'd be like,
Here
I
we
don't
go
care
again.
about chili anymore.
When you, I just want to go back real
Sure.
quick to when you very first decided to join the Army was right after 9/11. So, I mean, wow, right? You were teaching English in Japan at that
Teaching
time.
English in Japan.
And I mean, I think most of us, including myself, that was not something that I thought I wanted to do. In that most dangerous, frightening time is to run the other way, not towards it. You obviously have a big, kind, gushing heart
Oh,
because
thank you.
you're a vegan, and I barely know you, but I could tell that. What I want to hear, like, what inside you woke up or changed in those moments, in those days after 9/11 that had you join the Army?
So I was walking home from work and I got a text on my phone that said something about two big buildings. So this is Japan. It's nighttime. Something
Where in
about-
Japan?
This was Tokyo.
Okay.
Specifically Ogikubo. I was walking back to my apartment. I got a text and I'm like, two big buildings, something that's in kanji, something about fire, something about NYC. And I'm like, and then a friend of mine calls me and is like, you have to get to a TV. You have to watch the news. I'm like, oh, I don't. At that point, I didn't have a TV, so I went to my neighbors and I'm like, can I watch the news? And they're like, you need to see this. And it just blew my mind. I think the fact that I had been living abroad for so long made it especially resonate with me. That was like year 7 or 8 at that point. I had a very vague, I mean, I was still an American just as much as I am now, and we are, and anyone is, but I really had kind of just the label of what it was to be American, what it was to be anything. Most of my friends were not American. Most of my friends were either Japanese, band-related friends, martial arts-related friends. I spent a lot of time with Brits and other random expats.
So you were a person of the world.
Exactly. So it just took me out of everything. It took me by the throat and pulled me back out of that whole life of everything that mattered to me. And it said, your home is being attacked.
Yeah.
And being vegan at that point, so I had been vegan since 92, and that was 2001. So I'd been vegan for quite some time. And I think at one point I had thought about joining the military pre being vegan, but I didn't want to wear the leather combat boots, and that was like, ew. But now that we were being attacked, I was like, well, maybe that just doesn't matter as much. Maybe I just want to do something to help. And because being vegan, I felt kind of not really into, shooting people or blowing people up. Thought, you know what, I could be a medic, and that would kind of work with the whole vegan and being positive and trying to save the world stuff.
Hey folks, okay, back by very popular demand is our plant-powered plate fridge magnet, which you are going to receive for free if you leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. So here are the details. Just write your quick review. Does not need to be long, does not need to be a whole story. Just be honest and speak from the heart. Then take a quick screenshot of the review you wrote and email it to us at podcast@switchforgood.org. That's podcast@switchforgood.org. And include your mailing address so we can send you a power plate. We are doing this because the more reviews we garner, the higher we go in search results, which means more folks will learn about our podcast. So the power is in your hands. Leave us a review and zoom, your power plate arrives at your doorstep.
So thank you so much for tuning in today. If we helped you in any way, then click the subscribe button and let's keep hanging out together. We have so much more to share with you.
And if you need more information on actually making the switch for good, please visit us at switchforgood.org for loads of info, and you can subscribe to our mailing list where you will receive all sorts of super cool gifts, discount codes to our very fave dairy-free products, and a lifetime of powerful health tips.
So join us on the journey to switch for good. This is the future.